G.
Nice to be in studio, seeing some people.
How does the ex-player seat feel? That's where the ex-player sits usually.
Feel like I can go out and run probably like a 4.940.
Nice.
Probably crack 5.
In the 30s?
Huh?
The 40 or the 30?
Well, stop it at 35.
That's right.
All right, welcome to our show, Talking Wild Card Weekend. It's time for the lead block on a Friday.
Lead block.
Yep, NFL playoffs are here. Road to Super Bowl 55 starts with Super Wild Card Weekend. For the first time ever, 6 games will be played this weekend. 2 days of triple headers. A wild card weekend kicks off Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be pretty wild, and we're going to break down all of this action. I want to go back to that first game that kicks off the madness, of course, out the gates. We've got the Colts and the Bills up in Buffalo. Here's Kim Jones with the latest.
As the playoffs begin, Josh Allen and the Bills are on quite a roll. In his last 5 games, Allen has thrown 15 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. But he knows the Colts' defense is opportunistic, and he is especially interested, it seems, in that matchup between former Vikings teammates Xavier Rhodes and Stephon Diggs.
On the outside, obviously, they got a guy in Rhodes that's, played at the top of his game for a few years now, but is probably playing his best ball in his career.
Bills coach Sean McDermott spent the week referring to Phillip Rivers as Hall of Fame quarterback Phillip Rivers. Clearly, the Bills have great respect. Micah Hyde, the safety, said this: "We're not going to trick Phillip. He's seen every coverage in the book." Surely, he has.
Kim Jones, a lot of excitement on this one. Garofalo looking right at you, taking a look at the Bills who've been rolling on offense. Their top 2 receivers, though, dealing with a couple of injuries. So what's the latest with Beasley? You dropped a new rap album, I think, or song or something earlier this week. Tell me more about that and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, well, I can't tell you about the first part. That's on you. Diggs seemed to downplay the injury, the oblique injury that he's dealing with. The Bills, though, being cagey, right? They're really protecting the status of these 2 wide receivers. I think Diggs will probably wind up being okay. I don't know that he's going to be affected very much. I know he's confident that he's going to be able to go out there and do what he needs to do. Beasley, on the other hand, with that knee, it was DNP limited yesterday. I know that is a concern. Now, this guy, if he can go, if he can stand, he's going to go out there
the thing, right?
and he's going to play.
He'll tough it out.
Right. But how effective is he going to be? I just know this is something that's really been ailing him and limiting him. So we'll see what kind of Cole Beasley we can see out there if he's out there on the field. But I know that if he can, he will.
Appreciate the update there. Now, you're saying they're being cagey. They're also being loose and having fun, absolutely vibing it out at practice just yesterday, where Cole Beasley was limited, as we just heard. I love this. It was MC Hammer. That's what was playing, of course, not this. Yeah, they're having a great time. They've been doing this a lot. I love when a team's having fun.
Yeah.
And they're relaxed. And yet, there hasn't been a playoff game in Buffalo, as Peter Schrager gave me goosebumps talking about, since 1996. All the anticipation, all the hype, all the pressure. So, Schrags, how much added pressure is on this team specifically because of all that?
What was the Allen dance? Shoulders, a little bit of this. That's pretty good. I've seen worse.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Josh Allen can get down. 8,779 days since they last had a home game, and this is Josh Allen's 2nd playoff game, and last year it didn't go well. They were up 16-0. To me, the pressure is avoiding a collapse like last year's game. Remember it last year. If we see some of these plays, it wasn't just a loss. It was one of these where Allen, who was so smooth to start the game, was making crazy decisions. This here was the 4th and 27 play call by McDermott, and then Allen just goes backwards, gets sacked. There was a worse one with the lateral. I want to see the lateral where that play was just like,
was it worse than Reggie Bush's lateral in the
This one here, and this is like late in the game, and Josh Allen's scrambling, just go to bounds, go to bounds, go to bounds, go to bounds. And he tried pulling this thing off, trying to get like what are we doing?
Wow.
It's a playoff game.
The band is on the field.
Playoff game. They got fortunate there, but that happens sometimes. First playoff game. I don't know. I'm not comfortable. Jitters. It already happened. They had their first playoff game. You can't have jitters this time. You're home. You've been rolling. You beat the Patriots twice. You beat the Dolphins last week where you put up 56 points. You beat Pittsburgh. You beat Seattle. You beat the Rams. You can't have jitters at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon in front of 6,700 rabid fans who haven't seen a playoff game in 8,800 days. To me, there are no jitters. There is no added pressure. This is just do what you've been doing. You've been the best quarterback in football over the last 2 months. Go be Josh Allen and Bills, don't overthink this. Just go kick some butt.
8,700. I feel like I'm listening to Rent every time you say that.
Dun, 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 dun,
79 days. And listen, talk about the Bills losing this game, and don't mention last year, don't mention the 90s, don't mention how many days it's been. Just talk about this game. I feel like you will come up very, very short on this. Listen, if they lose, it's actually really darkly funny if you're into black comedy and that type of thing. Like, it is a hilarious tragedy that the Buffalo Bills are 13-3 and lose. You know what I mean? Like, if you're into that type of thing, Schadenfreude, whatever you want, like the Bills Mafia losing the wild card round, it's like at a 9.5. I don't want it. And frankly, I don't think we're going to get it. I just don't. I think the Bills are in really good shape in this game because we pointed this out a few times. There's so many players on their roster who have been to the playoffs, who have won playoff games, not just showed up. I mean, Diggs, what he's done against New Orleans, and Beasley's been, they guys have won games. So I just would take it from what Stephon Diggs has said this year. He gets asked all the time about, man, this change in Josh Allen. He's got so mature. He's so much calmer now. And Diggs is like, that's the only one I know. This guy you guys talk about from years past, I have no idea who that is. I've never played with him, so I don't see a new Josh. I only see the Josh I know. It's a microcosm of what this whole team's about. Mike, we love talking about Cornelius Bennett and Scott Norwood and all those great guys, and we love them so much. They have nothing to do with what's going to go on in Orchard Park this weekend, which I think is going to be a very happy day for Bills.
They don't, but like that team, this
What's
team...
the but here?
No, there's no but yet. The only but was Josh Allen while he was dancing.
That's good.
That's true.
This team, like that team, seems to have a good core that built together, it came together, is on the rise. You know, it's kind of been going like this, right? It's kind of been on the ascent. And my criticism to this team last year was that they didn't win the games that they weren't supposed to win, right? They only took care of the games they were supposed to win. They needed those games where they can jump up and do it. And then early in the season this year, they lose to Tennessee and Kansas City. I believe it was back-to-back weeks, and I thought, here we go again. It's just got a different feel, though, about it, right? Like, the fact that they came off that Hail Mary, I'm going to get it right, and haven't lost a game since.
Right.
And didn't bend because of that. When, frankly, you got to give them the win in that game, too, right? To go with Arizona and win that game, in all intents and purposes, it was a win. I just feel like you got to win a playoff game this year, right? Like, that's going to be the next step for them. Like, if it's going to keep going like this, you can't be one and done. So
I think if they win one playoff game, it's still a disappointment.
Really?
They're that good.
Yeah.
I don't. This sounds like a nuclear take. I don't think any Bills team ever has played as well as this team. Even with all those Hall of Famers, all those teams in the 90s. I'm not saying
I think they put up like 60 on the Raiders in an AFC championship.
I don't think they've ever been as good. But again, playoffs. But in the to end a regular season, I've never seen a Bills team hotter. If they win one playoff game and lose, I think it's a disappointment.
But back to Allen, because you talked about him with Diggs. He ascended so far and so fast this year that brought everything with it. That brought all the if he had been marginally better this year, you'd say, okay, this is the continued progression of Josh Allen. Right now, it's like, this is MVP. This is the Josh Allen we thought we'd see